What up? This is Ramashkin covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Netflix's new limited series, Kaleidoscope. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Let's rock this! First up, I would like to say thank you to Netflix for granting me the screeners to this entire new show. They've asked me to not spill spoilers, therefore this review is spoiler free. I repeat, there are no spoilers in this video review. Alright, Happy New Year everybody! Come gather around for my first review of 2023. Kaleidoscope is an anthology miniseries, meaning it's a one-off thing. So enjoy it while you can because it doesn't have continuous seasons beyond this. Now, everybody loves a good heist story, right? Well, showrunner Eric Garcia wants to add a little flavor to it by giving you options, or at least an illusion of options, to make it seem like you can start at any episode that you want leading up to the big heist. And the objective is for said episode to potentially affect how you view the characters, good or bad. So the $7 billion question is, does this non-linear approach really have the impact that it's intended? Well, having watched the whole thing, I gotta say, this format is really not that big of a deal. So don't worry too much about it. Don't sweat it. I mean, if you want to watch it straight in a row from the beginning, you'll be just fine. The caveat is episode 7 and episode 8 need to be switched around because episode 7 contains the aftermath spoilers. That's it. That's the only heads up. But overall, do I enjoy this show? Kaleidoscope is sufficiently entertaining. With the exception of a few minor hiccups here and there, the character dynamics for the most part are quite compelling. The show has enough intrigue and suspense, and the heist itself is pretty well thought out. Created, written, executive produced, and showrun by Eric Garcia, spanning 25 years, Kaleidoscope is an all-new anthology series following a crew of masterful thieves and their attempt to crack a seemingly unbreakable vault for the biggest payday in history. Guarded by the world's most powerful corporate security team, and with law enforcement on the case, every episode reveals a piece of an elaborate puzzle of corruption, greed, vengeance, scheming, loyalties, and betrayals. How did the crew of thieves plan it? Who gets away with it? Who can be trusted? Loosely inspired by the real-life story where $70 billion in bonds went missing in downtown Manhattan during Hurricane Sandy. Kaleidoscope consists of 8 episodes spanning from 24 years before the heist to 6 months after. In case you're wondering, Kaleidoscope is an optical instrument of reflecting colored mirrors that form symmetrical patterns, and those patterns can change if you rotate the tube. So at the beginning of every episode, it starts out with a look at a kaleidoscope, and the episodes are titled either green, yellow, violet, or red, depending on which character or characters that they want to focus on. Some of the episodes could totally do with shorter runtime, like I couldn't care less about the FBI agents. I mean, not to minimize her or anything, but you don't need to dedicate an entire episode just for her motivations. She could easily be lumped in with another and it would still do the trick. The flashback episode showing Leo and Roger when they were younger pulling robberies is probably my favorite episode because not only does it show where and when the animosity happens between them, but it also shows how this heist becomes a deeply personal mission. What is ultimately interesting to watch about this show is that this is not Ocean's 11. This is not a group of stylish men wearing name brand suits taking down the glamorous Vegas. Eric Garcia makes sure that these characters are all messed up. They have messed up personalities, they have messed up social skills, they have a messed up outlook on life. These are the type of people who are not meant to have happy endings. And so their commonalities only go to a certain extent before the no honor among thieves concept kicks into gear. Now, the hiccups I mentioned earlier mostly has to do with one of the characters, the demolition expert named Judy. Without revealing too many details, let's just say that I think the way that they write that character in the heist episode is a bit unfair because at the end it makes her look indecisive and undeserving. And the other grind I have is regarding the twist of who gets away with the big loot. I mean, that part to me is underwhelming and unsurprising, and I just wish they could have come up with something that's more of a curveball. Listen, the review embargo lifts on the same exact time as this show's premiere, so soon enough, you'll get to see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But overall, I think Kaleidoscope is not a terrible crime caper story. Featuring committed performances, especially by the lead, the incomparable Giancarlo Esposito, whose character is both admirable and tragic. Jai Courtney is another memorable one. He plays the short-tempered, foul-mouthed safecracker, and Jai definitely makes his presence and his choice of language noticeable. So yeah, Kaleidoscope may not necessarily be earth-shattering for its genre, but this is a heist drama that's not too dark and not too silly either. It's a pretty absorbing show to welcome and celebrate this new year.